Haha, got you. The Cowboy Bebop video is going to take a while longer, so just wait. For now, let's talk monetization and microtransactions. These things have been plaguing the industry for just a little bit, just a small amount. So let's go over them. You get the good, bad, and the ugly. I mean the bad, the ugly, and horrendous. Yeah, I ain't gonna sugarcoat it. There really isn't any good microtransactions. There's the ones from Black Ops 2 and Helldivers 2, but that's really all I can think of. Hell, all of them are pretty horrendous. They've all become extremely predatory. And whales will say, if you don't like it, then don't buy it. Motherfucker, they shouldn't be in there in the first place. This used to be earnable in-game, but now it's locked behind a paywall that's ever increasing. I can't take people like that seriously. But anyways, let's get started. Fortnite has a ton of microtransactions. It also popularized a lot of what we see today, with battle passes, item shops, and collabing with every IP under the sun. It also has the best microtransactions out of all the games I'm going to talk about in this video, which isn't a good thing because all of them suck. Fortnite's got two battle passes. The main one that's 950 V-Bucks, and the festival pass, which is double the price if I remember correctly. Then there's the mini battle passes that come out for events, which is the same price as the main battle pass. Then you've got the item shop, which has reasonably priced things in it. They're still better priced than what we're seeing with every other game, surprisingly. And finally, you have the subscription service, the Fortnite crew. You do actually get a lot of benefits from getting it. It gives you the main battle pass for free, 1,000 V-Bucks each month, a new skin each month, and the Rocket League battle pass, all for $12 a month. There's actually some value to getting it. Would I buy it personally? No. I don't even play Fortnite anymore. And when I do, it feels like a chore trying to finish the battle pass, because I'm tired of playing it. Fortnite also does give out a decent amount of free items to players, which is something we barely see in the industry today. Overall, not good, but better than what's coming up. If you've watched my Destiny video, you already know about this stuff, since I talked about the microtransactions a bit in that. If you haven't watched it yet, then go do that after this video, but I'm going to go into it more here. Destiny 2 has a lot of problems when it comes to the monetization. The biggest problem is the removal of paid content, and separating content to make more money. Bungie removed the vanilla game and almost 2 years worth of expansions from the game. Then they remove almost all seasonal content from the game at the time for the next expansion. This is creating FOMO to a whole other scale. People aren't able to understand the whole story of Destiny without YouTubers that played during that time. It's gonna be a bitch for me when I make my videos on those years of D2, and I gotta hurry up and document the rest of the game before that's gone too. The people that paid for the content were never told this would happen when they bought it, so they feel scammed out of $180 if they paid for everything in those first 2 years. Then you have things like dungeons, shaders, and Eververse armor. Dungeons used to be included with the DLC or season you bought, but got separated into dungeon keys to suck more money out of the players. Shaders and Eververse armor used to be free, but since exotic synergized ornaments, and exotic ornament themed shaders, they've just been slowly locking away everything new in Eververse. Shaders have been completely locked away from people not wanting to pay $10 for a cool shader locked behind an ornament until maybe next year, or $10 for a shader bundle that should have been unlockable in the expansion it dropped with. But it's probably over delivery to give us more than 2 shaders that aren't paywalled with an expansion. Then we have the price increase for expansions with less content. Isn't it beautiful seeing Lightfall Drop being more expensive than Forsaken for like half the content? Same. And finally, so I can hopefully stop talking about Destiny until my D1 video, Bungie selling old Season Pass rewards. Season Passes that cost $10 at the time, for $75 total. They did this with Season of the Worthy and Season of Arrivals if I remember correctly. And it still baffles my mind how they think people would be fine with them adding a $65 upcharge for missing out on stuff they took away. Oh my god, I almost forgot to mention event passes. These things have ruined events. Solstice this year was the worst event we've ever had in Destiny history. All the progression changed to the most brain-numbing and boring grind ever. And if you really want some actual rewards, you gotta fork over $10 to do some seasonal challenges. This really just goes to show how over-monetizing a game can ruin it. Enter Bethesda, where they break every promise and consistently disappoint their communities. If you followed Fallout 76's release, then you know where I'm going with this. There were so many broken promises with it, like with the canvas bag, and the Nuke and Dark, and the $276 jacket, but those are outside of the game. Inside the game, it's just pay-to-win microtransactions. You have a battle pass, an item shop, and a subscription service. The usual with these things. The subscription service is where my problems lie, unless you want to go over the Fortnite points again. Fallout First is different from Fortnite's subscription service though. It's just straight up pay to win. You get this thing called a scrap box that lets you put unlimited crafting components into, which just isn't a thing for normal players like it has been with every other Fallout game. You get a survival tent, which is a fast travel point you can put anywhere that carries everything you'll ever need. You get to host private worlds, and you get 1,650 atoms each month. And just for that cherry on top, you get the NCR Ranger armor from New Vegas, locking it away into a subscription, because they know it's the most wanted armor in the game, all for a total of $13 a month. What a great deal. Overwatch has gone from a Game of the Year winner with the most ethical loot box systems in gaming, to parasitically attaching themselves to the wallets of Kiriko and Mercy mains. When Overwatch 2 launched, the community realized something. If you didn't want to pay for skins, it'll cost you 8 months of non-stop grinding just to get one legendary skin. Blizzard quit work on the PvE mode to focus on draining the wallets of the players, after people already pre-ordered for the PvE, and when they got mad, Blizzard was like, okay, we'll actually work on it. Then they made them pay again for it, and it was a glorified event mode that people obviously didn't like, because it didn't include anything really interesting besides cutscenes. Then Blizzard cancelled it, because their crap product sold like crap. Last time I played, the game was at the point where you have that Destiny 2 event pass bullshit, to make events that already became paid things, even more paid somehow. Now they're selling mythic skins for $80, which is insane. That's double the price of Overwatch 1, and more than actual good games. Then Blizzard did the usual thing and locked weapon inspects, a feature they promised we'd get for every character for free, behind the $80 mythic weapon skins. Why is anyone surprised? Call of Duty has a long history with monetization and microtransactions. There used to be zero microtransactions, and only paid DLCs. Now there's no DLCs, and everything you can imagine is a microtransaction. I know Bobby Kotick still has shit stains from pushing out as many loot boxes out of his colon as he could, from Advanced Warfare to Black Ops 4. As much as I love BO3, they had the worst loot boxes in the franchise. Everything was made to dilute the pool to try and get you to spend more money on the game. Then there were the limited time camos and loot boxes, and even an entire limited time weapon you can't get anymore. Infinite Warfare definitely had the best system. If you bought the Season Pass, which is very different from what Season Pass means now, you'd get all the weapons that you'd normally have to get from loot boxes. You could also make the items you wanted, if I remember right. Since Modern Warfare 2019, COD has gone to the Fortnite model of battle passes and overpriced skins. In Modern Warfare 3, they discovered the Apex model of giving a bonus item if you get everything in an event, making this King Kong Gorilla Fist an $80 item, or the Cernable Camo from World War II into a $100 item. God, I can't take this anymore. Where do I start with Ubisoft? I'm just gonna start with their most popular game, Rainbow Six Siege. Siege has been kind of a hellscape for a while. You have the Battle Pass, loot boxes, an item shop, and a subscription service. Again, the usual. Loot boxes are the same. The item shop is the same. Battle Pass is the same. Well, even the subscription service is just a worse version of Fortnite's. It kinda just includes the same stuff but downgraded. Then you have their games in general. You've got the first quadruple A game, Skull and Bones, a $70 pile of garbage that gets outclassed by the game that inspired it. That game released over 10 years ago. Star Wars Outlaws has a $130 Ultimate Edition, with the only difference from the deluxe being a digital art book and 2 skin packs. Then you have a story mission they locked behind the Season Pass at launch. Assassin's Creed Shadows has the exact same problems, but you only get 1 skin pack for the same price. It's actually ridiculous how they're doing this. Ubisoft is also really trying to push subscription services into gaming. You've got Ubisoft Plus, their version of Game Pass with just their games, and the Siege subscription. I don't know if they have any more, but I wouldn't doubt they'll make more. Man, I also forgot about this until my friend reminded me, but Ubisoft tried getting in on the NFT craze with Ghost Recon Breakpoint. Obviously it didn't work out, thank God, but I didn't want to leave this out because it just shows how greedy they are. EA is probably the worst when it comes to monetizing games. Their monetization has gotten them into a lot of trouble legally in a lot of different countries. Some cases getting overturned or parts thrown out due to technicalities. And these are some stupid technicalities too. They have the worst when it comes to loot boxes. They're just straight up pay to win. Battlefront 2 is probably the most known. They just straight up put abilities and upgrades in loot boxes if I remember correctly. I don't play FIFA and I haven't really seen gameplay on it, so I can't really comment on it. But I can tell you they're a problem if it's getting them into legal battles. Apex is their latest game they've somehow been able to get away with milking. They've got loot boxes, an item shop, and a battle pass. Loot boxes are the main way they do everything. I remember YouTubers spending $500 on it, trying to get the Wraith heirloom when the game launched. It gets bad with events, where you get bonus items that get extremely expensive, like the Sephiroth Death Box, that ended up being $360. If you aren't a whale for this game, then EA doesn't care about your opinion. Star Citizen is the worst when it comes to pricing. This game has gotten as much of the actual game done as Yandere Simulator, in about the same amount of time. I genuinely can't think of a single game where I can spend $48,000 only if you spent $10,000 on it. So if you want every ship in the game, that's going to cost you $58,000. Chump change for a guy like me. It's not really surprising though. They've got whales that will pay that amount and not care, which makes sense why they haven't finished the game yet. Why finish the game if you can just sell ships for exorbitant prices instead? Oh yeah, did I mention the subscription service? You have the $10 a month Centurion subscription and the $20 a month Imperator subscription. The Imperator has the same stuff as the Centurion, but some stuff are doubled, and you get to test drive new ships and vehicles for a week when they drop. Again, not surprised. We've seen a complete shift in gaming. AAA games used to be great, and they still are, to a certain extent. We still have games like Red Dead Redemption, Ghost of Tsushima, and Tears of the Kingdom on the regular. But for every great game we get 5 mid-games littered with microtransactions. Sometimes we just straight up lose great games due to microtransactions. They can be as simple as a $10 battle pass, or as exorbitant as $360 for one item. In extreme cases, you get prices as bad as $48,000. But there is hope. Indie games are some of the best games you can play right now. Most of them require only one purchase or a couple of purchases for a lot more content, somehow always being just as much or cheaper than what gets put in item shops in these AAA live service games. If there's anything you can take away from this video, it's to stop giving into these games made to drain your pockets unless it's worth your time and money. That's it for me. If you liked the video, then like and subscribe, it really means a lot. And go ahead and comment what you think about this topic. It's cool to see your opinions and have a discussion. But that's really it. Bye.